I'm Kevin. I'm a 32-year-old white-collar worker with a wife the same age as me and a 5-year-old daughter. My daughter Anne was at my parents' that day, so it was just me and my wife, Jennifer, at home. We had no visitors, except for Jennifer's mom friend who bought a cake from a famous store to share with us in the morning. It's almost snack time. Maybe I'll make some coffee. We have cake that Jane brought in the morning. Why don't you have that as a snack? I'm sure Anne will want to eat it when she hears about it. Didn't Jane say it was a brandy cake? Children can't eat it if there's alcohol in it. You can't eat it either. You don't like alcohol, do you? That's right. I don't mind not having any snacks. Don't hesitate. Go ahead and eat it. Then I'll take advantage of your kindness. I'll go make some coffee. And so begins the 3 o'clock tea time. Jennifer, who has a sweet tooth, was drumming her tongue on the brandy cake her friend had given her. She must have liked it very much because she ate the cake that could last for 3 days by herself in one sitting. Her appetite was such that you wouldn't have thought she ate 2 frozen pizzas for lunch. Hey, how can you eat so much? You just had lunch a little while ago. Sweet things are different, you know. Women can eat as many sweets as they want. Is that something to boast about? Just watching gives me heartburn. I think I'll have another cup of coffee to freshen my mouth. In that case, please get me one too, with lots of sugar and cream. You're still drinking sweet things? I made the sweet café au lait as Jennifer instructed. The coffee was strong with 2 cubes of sugar and 2 spoonfuls of powdered milk. I was impressed that she could drink such a high-calorie drink every day and still maintain her figure before and after giving birth to her child. As I watched the drops of coffee slowly dripping from the coffee maker, I heard a moan from the living room where Jennifer was sitting. Ugh, that's painful. What's wrong? I don't know, but suddenly I feel nauseous and dizzy. Hey, are you okay? Did you eat too much cake? No, it's not that. Oh, this is serious. Wait here, I'll take you to the hospital right away. I immediately carried Jennifer on my back and put her in the back seat of the car and headed to the clinic closest to my home. However, the doctor who examined Jennifer's symptoms said that it was not something that could be handled in the clinic, and she was immediately transferred to the hospital in the city. According to the doctor at the clinic where Jennifer was treated, her symptoms were similar to those who had accidentally ingested pesticides. I was then interviewed by the police officers who arrived at the scene after the doctor's report. Of course, I had no knowledge of this, but the police seemed to suspect that I was the one who had put pesticides in Jennifer's food. However, the suspicion towards me cleared soon after the investigation, and no pesticides were found from my house. As a result, the next person suspected was Jane, the mom friend who had brought cake in the morning. Jane continued to remain silent during the questioning by the police, but after a search of her home, a container of pesticides that had been opened was found. Jane left her husband about a year ago and now lives with her child in an apartment without a yard. It was obvious that Jane, who lived in an environment that did not allow her to have a vegetable garden, was using the pesticides for something other than farming. This circumstantial evidence led Jane to be indicted at home on the charge of causing injury. It's absolutely terrible. I can't forgive her for putting pesticides in the cake she brought as a gift. I wondered what would have happened if a child had taken a bite. Well, in my opinion, I think Jane was targeting only you. How do you know that? Because the cake she brought was a brandy cake. With an alcohol-infused cake, it's unlikely that a child would eat it, and she's been quite familiar with me for a long time, so she should know that I'm not that naive, right? Even if that's the case, I still don't understand why I was the target. Do you remember doing anything that would make Jen hold a grudge against you? Of course not. We've always been good friends. Jennifer told me this when she came home from the hospital, but I had only one idea about what would cause Jane to resent Jennifer. It was Jane's former husband, Jack, whom she left a year ago. Anyway, I decided to visit Jane, who was waiting for the court proceedings to uncover the truth about this incident. What about the child? With my ex-husband, he took the child away, saying that a criminal doesn't have the qualifications to raise a child. I see. I'm sorry for asking such a rude question. Can you sympathize with me? I was sure I was going to be cursed for what I did to your wife. I had that intention before I heard your story, but now I have changed my mind. I think it's wrong to unilaterally criticize you, as you're also a victim. Victim? You are also a great victim, your husband's infidelity. That's true, but it has nothing to do with Jennifer or her husband. Are you looking out for me? It's okay, I've kind of realized it already. Was Jack's mistress my Jennifer? Why do you say that? Actually, I also had a period when I suspected Jennifer of having an affair a while ago. Although the evidence couldn't be found and it was a mystery, this recent incident made me realize something. I think the reason why Jennifer is hated by Jane is because of her affair. I first became suspicious of Jennifer's infidelity when my daughter Anne was 3 years old. It was 2 years ago now when she started preschool. During that time, Jennifer was acting suspiciously by being overly concerned with her appearance and frequently asking about my work schedule and when I was coming home. Ultimately, the evidence couldn't be found and I didn't realize it because there was a 1-year time lag between Jane and Jack's divorce, but now that I think about it, I wonder if Jennifer and Jack's relationship continued quietly under the radar after that. But that doesn't alleviate my guilt. That may be true, but it's still a cruel situation for you to bear the brunt of everything. If you promise to cooperate with me, I'll help you get back custody of your child. Cooperation? Yes, you were bold enough to take such drastic actions, so there must have been enough evidence of the affair. Would you mind handing me the evidence? That's fine. After that, I went back home with the evidence I received from Jane, and then I woke up the woman who was sleeping carelessly on the sofa and thrust the bundle of evidence in front of the eyes of that unfaithful woman.
What the hell is this?
What the hell is this? You've been having an affair.
I don't understand. I would never have an affair.
What is this picture? It looks like you're walking into a hotel with some guy.
I knew it. Jane must be trying to trick me. That picture is a composite. A fake.
I never said that this picture was given to me by Jane. Stop making excuses and call Jack here right now, or I'll kick you out of the house immediately.
Yes.
1 hour later, Jack came to visit me at my home. It seems like he already understood the situation to some extent, and his face was pale and he looked like a dead person. Do you know why I called you here? It's about your relationship with your wife, right? Exactly. How do you plan to fix this mess? Actually, my wife took a large amount of compensation and child support from me a year ago, and I don't have the means to pay you compensation. That's why you forcibly took the child, so you wouldn't have to pay child support. Yes, that's correct. But I'll still demand compensation from you. It's my right as the cheated party. Please, have mercy. There's only one way to avoid that. Do you want to hear it? Yes, I want to hear it. If you can return the child to your wife right now, I'll consider reducing the compensation. Really? But that's not possible. Okay, I'll demand it all at once then. If you don't have the money to pay, your salary and car will be seized. Please, have mercy. I need a car for work. No, you have to choose between returning the child or losing your job. Understood. I will return the child. Good, we're done here. Write down what we just talked about in a pledge. You know what will happen if you break your promise. Yes. After that, I demanded $30,000 in compensation from Jennifer for her infidelity. After half a year of trial, I was able to take custody of my daughter Anne. Jack kept his promise, so I reduced the compensation demanded to $10,000. I may have lost a bit, but thinking that Jane could live with her child again, it seemed like I was able to do something good for someone I feel somewhat good. It's a little disappointing that Jane has a criminal record. At any rate, I guess that settles the matter, but there is actually a bit more to this story. After everything was settled, I continued to be friends with Jane, but we crossed the line from friends to something more. Yes, our children got along so well, and we impulsively filed a marriage registration the other day. No, I don't regret it at all. Just, I think this kind of encounter is rare, but maybe this is also a form of destiny. If that's the case, I'll go along with that destiny. What a bit of a cheesy thing to think about these days. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you again. Please subscribe to our channel.